What's up, everybody? How we doing? Matt Modi with OddsJam, here to give you some last-minute player props to lock in for Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football tonight. So, game starts soon. I'm not going to dilly-dally around. Just going to get into these plays. So the first one that I have here, found, of course, using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page, is Gunnar Olszewski. Hopefully, I'm not butchering that guy's last name. Under 11.5 receiving yards. So this play is at minus 110 at Bet365. So the OddsJam line, the no vig odds, price this at minus 111. Of course, this number comes from, it's a weighted average pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. The method used to determine whether these sportsbooks, or I guess I should say the method used to determine what sportsbooks are the sharpest in the world. OddsJam backtested a bunch of betting opportunities by like thousands of betting opportunities to make this determination. So historically, these X amount of sportsbooks do the best job at pricing odds. So we're going to use them to set the markets moving forward and remove the VIG using a weighted average. So that's where this minus 111 comes from. It's very important to understand that because it's why positive expected value betting is such a profitable betting strategy, because you're placing bets that we know as the sports bettor have a better chance of occurring than the reflected odds of the sportsbook that is offering the bet. So we know as the sports bettor, thanks to OddsJam, that this should be priced at minus 111. Well, we can get it at minus 110 at Bet365, and that is a good play. Another reason why I like this one is if you click into the markets here, you can see where every other sportsbook prices it. So Pinnacle is the most important one, prices this at minus 137. DraftKings is another important one, specifically with player props, prices this at minus 125. And then if you view the event page in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing markets or pricing odds for this play. And as we can see, the other sportsbooks that price this market price it at 10.5, which includes PointsBet and BetOnline. And this BetOnline one is obviously incredibly important because BetOnline is the third of the sharp sportsbooks we use to set lines, or I guess not necessarily set lines, but we use to kind of see what the true line should be. So the fact that Pinnacle and DraftKings both heavily favor this going under, and the fact that BetOnline has this yardage prop at a yard lower, that's what this minus 114 is BetOnline, as you can see here. That's a good sign. And obviously, like the 10.5 to 11.5 is a huge deal because it's almost a 10% difference between 10.5 and 11.5. So, if we're locking in Patrick Mahomes passing yards and it's from 299.5 to 300.5, that 1 yard isn't that big of a deal. In this case, that 1 yard is a 10% difference because there's a 10% chance that he lands at exactly 11, roughly. And then we would win our bet. This bet would lose. So this is going to be the first player prop to lock in for tonight. The next one that I like, and the odds here obviously aren't ideal, another one at minus 165, but value's value, and it doesn't matter what the odds are as long as it's good value. And in this case, we are locking in Alec Pierce under 3.5 receptions. This is at minus 165 at Bet365. Look across the board where every other sportsbook prices it. Pinnacle is all the way at minus 228. BetOnline and DraftKings are about 30 cents higher at minus 192 and minus 195. And then we even have other sportsbooks like Caesars, FanDuel, PointsBet, all having it as a pretty decent favorite, more favorable, I should say, compared to the minus 165 at Bet365. So this is going to be my second betting pick for today. And then the last two were two Jonathan Taylor props, or not this one, the odds change. So this is not going to be a play. This one is still good. Jonathan Taylor receiving yards over 13.5, minus 110. You can get this at BetMGM and Bet365. Similar logic here, right? BetMGM giving it to us at minus 110. Pinnacle giving it to us at minus 136. DraftKings has it more favorable at minus 120. Then if we open up this in a new tab, so we see Jonathan Taylor's receiving yards. You can get it at minus 115 if you want at 12.5, so a yard lower for 5 cents of juice. But majority of the books we see price it above this amount. Like we see Bet Rivers right here, price this at 14.5, favor the over. We see, looks like PointsBet has it at 15.5, 2 yards higher, favoring the over. And then we see FanDuel have it at 16.5 at -110. And then we see BetOnline here have it at 16.5 as well, as does FoxBet, which is this next book right here. This -120 is FoxBet. So except for Tipico, every sportsbook either has the 13.5 more heavily favored than the -110 that we are getting, or they have his yardage prop higher than what we locked it in at. So showing you that no matter how you slice it, the over is the more likely scenario here. So this is going to be my third and final pick for today, and that is going to be it. So if you guys are tailing these, comment and let me know, but that's all I got. So I do appreciate everybody watching, and have a good one.